Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to reiterate about Council's governance rules. I'm Jackie Weatherall, the Chief Executive. Council meetings, making them a safe place for everyone. During the council meeting, members of the public cannot address the meeting outside of public question time, must not interject or act offensively, must remain seated, must switch your mobile phones to mute, must not operate any recording device, audio or visual without obtaining consent from the Chief Executive Officer at least 3 days prior to the council meeting, and can display placards or posters provided they're not offensive, do not obstruct entrances and exits to the chamber or impede any view or person. The Chair can direct any member of the public to stop interjecting or acting offensively. If that behaviour continues, the Chair can ask an authorised officer or a member of Victoria Police to remove members of the public from the chamber. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome to our ordinary council meeting, Monday the 8th of December 2025. Item 1, meeting opening. 1.1, opening meeting. 1.2, attendance. Ms. Verrill.
Thank you, Mayor. We have 3 apologies this evening from Councillor Jim Mermetti, from Councillor Lloyd Trong and from Councillor Lana Formosa. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Item 1.3, acknowledgement of traditional custodians of land. Those who wish to stand for acknowledgement to the country are welcome to do so. We acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land, the Bunurong people, and pay respect to the elders, past and present. We recognise and respect their continuing connections to climate, culture, country, and waters. And we also pay our respects and acknowledge the journey of all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people and the elders present here today. Item 1.4, offering of prayer, reflection, or affirmation. As part of the Council commitment to recognising the cultural and spiritual diversity of our community, the prayer, reflection, or affirmation this evening will be offered by Father Bruce Duncan, a member of the Greater Dandenong Interfaith Network. Welcome, Father Bruce.
Happy to be here with you. We gather united in wonder at the mysterious transcendence that sustains our whole human race and the entire universe. People of all cultures have used many names for this hidden presence in our hearts. Many of us term this presence Mystery God. Our Aboriginal peoples have always felt strongly the great Creator Spirit sustaining all living creatures and the very earth we live on. With great respect, we honour the earnest search in our various beliefs and religious traditions for truth, justice and peace among all peoples. We ask the Father of us all that we may truly learn to live as brothers and sisters in the one great human family. May we truly recognise the dignity of each single person, especially the sick and the excluded. Father of our human family, open our hearts to those in pain or distress, refugees and asylum seekers. Inspire in us dreams to work together for a better world, a world free from hunger, poverty and violence. May our eyes be open to the goodness and beauty around us in this land of Australia, a marvellous gift for us to treasure and protect. And may we walk together with our Aboriginal sisters and brothers in the long overdue journey of treaty and truth-telling in this land. Finally, may we all who contribute to love and understanding through our interfaith networks be truly blessed in our search in our family lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Father Bruce. Now we're going to go to the next item, item 1.5, confirmation of minutes of previous meetings.
Councillor Garrett.
Moved by Councillor Garrett, seconded by Deputy Mayor Councillor Dan. Are there any questions? Is there any opposition? As there is no opposition, the item is carried. Item 1.6, disclosures of interest. Ms. Verrill.
Thank you, Mayor. And we have a disclosure of interest by yourself, Councillor Sophie Tan, Mayor, in regards to item 4.1.1, the contract 2526-09 for the supply of banking customer payment service by the Commonwealth Bank of Australia. It's a direct material conflict of interest of a non-pecuniary nature associated with the fact that you are an employee of the Commonwealth Bank of Australia.
Thank you. Item 2, Officers' Reports, Part 1, 2.1, Petitions and Joint Letters. 2.1.1 petition and joint letters.
Councillor Garrett.
Moved by Councillor Garrett.
Happy
Is
to
there a
second,
seconder?
Mayor.
Seconded by Councillor Milkovich. Are there any questions? Is there any opposition? As there's no opposition, the item is carried. Item 3, public questions time. So question time at council meeting provides an opportunity for members of the public in the gallery to address questions to the councillors, delegates or officers of the City of Great Dandenong Council. Questions must comply with S.4.5.8 of the Governance Rules, Council Governance Rules. Ms. Reynolds?
Thank you, Mayor. And I just want to start with Philip Lamaro's raised 3 questions relating to alleged breach of privacy and to maintain privacy regarding the matter. I don't propose to read out the questions tonight. The matter is being investigated by Council's privacy officer, who will liaise directly with Philip Lamaro. Philip Lamaro and I have agreed also to meet in the near future. Our next question is from Tina Kongs of Dandenong and concerns clarification on site constraints to the Dandenong Community Hub. Is Tina here this evening? Would you like to come up, please?
Yes, thank you.
Welcome, Tina.
The Dandenong Community Hub report talks a lot about the constraints of the site. However, despite asking many times over many consultations, the community have not been given a clear reason why the whole of the King Street, Sleeth Avenue, Cloud Street and Stewart Street cannot be used. Why can't it be used? The whole site. Thank you.
Thank you. Could I ask Mr. Manifagasa to respond?
Yes, thank you. Through you, Mayor. Thank you for your question. On Monday, September 13, 2021, Council carried the following motion. The Council progresses with the development of a concept plan and business case for the Dandenong Community Hub for the southern end of site bordered by the Close Street, Stewart Street and Sleeth Avenue. In response to this motion, the Dandenong Community Hub design has been positioned within the southern half of the identified area. Areas outside of this section will be planned and considered as part of the market precinct plan. For more space to be available beyond this identified site, it would be require a new council resolution to consider. Thank you.
So you're saying that the site from the pedestrian crossing to the south is ours and the north is the markets?
That's correct.
No more?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tina. Next question, Ms. Farrell.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Our next question is from Sylvia Mastro Giovanni of Dandenong, and her question's about details on the upcoming consultation for Dandenong Community Hub concept design. Thank you, Sylvia. Would you like to ask your question?
Thank you very much, I would. And good evening, everybody. Long time no see. Here's the question. Why is the belief being presented in the report on the Dandenong Community Hub concept design that Dandenong only needs a hub the size of Keysborough Community Hub, which was built with the needs of the 15,000 Keysborough South residents in mind, whereas Dandenong has 30,000 residents and previous council reports have estimated that Dandenong will have a population of 50,000 by 2050. Downsizing the hub is not planning for the future of Dandenong as a big place where a lot of people live in high density housing without much indoor space or green space.
Thank you, Sylvia. Could I please ask Mr. Manifagasa to respond, please?
Yep. Through you, Mayor. Thank you for your question. Dandenong Community Hub, the size of the Dandenong Community Hub must be considered in relation to its location, surrounding other facilities and intended use. While the population of Dandenong is larger than that of the surrounding suburbs and is expected to grow further, the area is also currently well served by a variety of community spaces within Dandenong. The Dandenong Community Hub must be designed in complement with existing facilities and be financially sustainable for the future as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, these existing facilities, could you tell me what they are? These for the residents of Dandenong, not for the region. Dandenong is full of regional facilities. What do you have for
Is that
the residents,
Sorry,
please?
it's not in your questions.
Yes, but I'd like to clarify what those facilities are, please. A clarification, please. I think I
Sanjay?
have a right to that.
Thank you for that. So there are a number of facilities like this building and also drum theatre and also numerous other buildings we got, and also Dandenong Wellbeing Centre is being built, and also the Dandenong New Arts. All of those facilities will add. Those facilities are not in Keysborough.
Those facilities are regional facilities. They are not for the residents.
There's
they
no,
are
sorry,
not. I am.
Sarah. It's no debate here, so you ask your question and our officer responded. Because there's no debate during question times.
Community centres in Springvale and the numerous community centres in Noble
so-
Park. These that are named.
Do you have any
are
other question? You've got 3
incorrect.
questions, that's it.
I have another question.
Yeah, so just
but
go over your
those that were
question.
named are incorrect. They are not community facilities for the residents. They are for the entire
Okay.
region.
So you want to go
And
to the
I'd
next
like
question?
that noted, please.
Ask your next question. Thanks, Sylvia.
Yes, Madam Mayor. The report on the Dandenong Community Hub says there will be further consultation on the concept design for the Dandenong Community Hub. What will be the nature and timing of that, including what IAP2 level, please?
Up through you, Mayor. Thank you for the question. Community consultation for the Dandenong Community Hub project will take place in 2026 at key stages of the design process, adhering to Council's policies and guidelines. There is an item being considered by Council tonight. Part of that motion notes that the co-design process is completed. If the proposed motion is passed as set out in the agenda and noting, it mentioned an accelerated program towards the revised design. Then there will not be further co-design activities in coming months. However, there are commitment to draw on the valuable and valued contribution and inputs from the co-design processes to date. Thank you.
Excuse me, may I didn't understand some of that. I couldn't hear it properly. I'd like to know, I've got some of the timing, so that's 2026. Okay, no co-design. No, but we've been supposedly it's all valuable and you're going to consider it. Supposedly, yeah. But what IAP2 level will you be using?
Once the council made that decision, we'll work that out in the early new year, not at this stage, because the item is in front of the council. Council needs to make the decision. Once the decision is made, we'll work out what's the IAP2 level needs to be done after that.
Thank you. And your next question, Sylvia?
That's it.
That's it?
Thank you
Okay,
very
thank
much.
you.
Through you, Mayor. Our next question is from Mon Singh of Dandenong, and it concerns clarification on councillor authority and community input into Dandenong Community Hub redesign. Would Mon like to come up and ask her 2 questions? Perhaps you can read one after the other and then the officer can reply. Thank you.
Thank you. The officer recommendations for item 4.43 are vague and confusing. What exactly are the councillors agreeing to allow council officers to do and not do?
Sanjay?
Yep. Through Mayor, thank you for that question. The agenda item 4.2.3, Dandenong Community Hub concept design, is seeking approval from the council to redesign the hub to ensure it is comparable to the size and budget to the Keysborough Community Hub, while preserving all the core requirements set out in the 2021 Council Resolution and the valuable contributions from the co-design process. This approach ensures that the Dandenong Community Hub project is financially sustainable and best positioned to attracting its necessary state and federal government fundings.
Thank you. Your next question, Mon?
The Dandenong Community Hub report says that to best position the project against the many other competing for funds during the 2026 election, the range of promotional assets will be needed, including broad community support. Why is the community, therefore, now being cut out of meaningful input into the complete redesign of the building?
Mr. Manif Agasa-Sivam.
Through you, Mayor. Thank you for that. Definitely there would be community consultations on the design process. Community consultations for the Dandenong Community Hub project will take place in 2026 at key stages of the design process, adhering to the Council's policies and guidelines. The contributions made to date will also be taken into account in informing a revised design.
Thank you. Any further question? Thank you. Mon.
Through you, Mayor. Our next question is from Sue Smith of Dandenong. Is Sue here? And it concerns design query for Dandenong Community Hub. Thank you, Sue.
Hello, thank you. The recommendations in the Council report on the Dandenong Community Hub seem to be giving Council officers a blank cheque to change the major decisions at the Council meeting of the 13th of December 2021 regarding the features of the building and the decisions of the 11th of April 2023 regarding the number of levels of the building without any community consultation. Is this correct? And why is this being done without community consultation?
Mr. Manif Agasa-Sivam.
Yeah, through you, Mayor. The report recommends redesigning the scale of Dandenong Community Hub to be financially sustainable while utilising the core design input as a crucial foundation. The inputs from the community members in the previous consultations are important and should be taken into consideration. However, the report and the proposed motion being considered by the councillors tonight takes note the considerable size and the cost increases that have amended the design in the due course of last few years. It is appropriate to check in on major projects along the way and sometimes to recalibrate a project in line with the changing conditions, including financial and advocacy context. Councillors will consider and debate this matter this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Sue. Any further questions?
One more question. The report on the Dandenong Community Hub co-design recommends the multi-level design be revisited. How can the Council do that when in the consultation 3 years ago, 76% of participants rejected a multi-level design for the Dandenong Community Hub?
Mr. Manif Agasa-Sivam.
Yeah, through you, Mayor. As I mentioned previously, Council's considering the reports tonight, and as any major projects, it's always to review and recalibrate the projects. And if Council chooses to look at the multi-storey building, Council officers will explore that options. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue. Ms. Verrill.
Thank you, Mayor. And our next question is from Lucas, Dandenong North, and it's calling for an upgrade of Lindale Secondary College sporting ovals. 2 young girls from Lindale United asked a valid question in regard to the upgrade of Lindale Secondary College sporting ovals with a very vague response to it about funding. Last meeting, Council approved a master plan for Lewis Toohey upgrade without amending any of the changes Lindale United requested, making it not fit for purpose for a club with mixed genders and 250 players. As a result, Council urgently needs to commit to upgrading the college grounds as Lindale United projected playing roster is expected to grow to 420 players by 2030, with half being female. When will Council start taking this club seriously and needs the community which it serves? Can I ask our Acting Executive Director Community Strengthening, Marcus Forster, to respond, please?
Through you, Madam Mayor, and thank you, Luca, for your question. At the 24 November 2025 Council meeting, Council endorsed the Lois Toohey Reserve High-Level Master Plan following several rounds of engagement with residents, sporting clubs and community feedback regarding the multi-use of the reserve. Noting that Lower Toohey is a multi-sport recreation facility that currently encompasses passive and active recreation, as well as playground facilities, it is also important to note that there are site constraints due to a retarding basin designated within the reserve. The master plan has been designed to reflect the needs of all users and community feedback and set out indicative spaces for future detailed design and development should future funding allow. Specifically, the master plan notes that to accommodate the needs of resident clubs, the facility will offer over 1,000 metres squared of shared social space, including multi-use rooms, storage, mixed gender change facilities and service areas for optimal functionality. The position also includes plaza areas designed for gatherings, events and community activations. Additional engagement will occur with resident clubs should there be funding available for a detailed design process. At that time, noting that the master plan process does not go into specific details. We listened carefully to the young footballers who came to ask their questions recently. We also acknowledge that not all feedback from Lindale Football Club could be applied or incorporated into the finalisation of the master plan, specifically the proximity of gum trees in relation to light towers and the proximity of the youth child precinct from the active recreational facilities, purely primarily due to planning constraints. Officers consider the initial master plan sets out to balance the needs of all users, and while additional engagement will need to occur in future development phases, we are currently comfortable with the current outlay of the site.
Thank you, Marcus. Ms. Redall.
Thank you. Our next question is from Gay Guest of Keysborough and it concerns the Springvale Underpass and Town Centre clean-up concerns. At the last council meeting for 2025 and real local issues have not been addressed. The CEO, exec officers and councils have all been sent alarming photos on the state of Springvale Underpass, and the images that are now circulating, even on Facebook, show that despite our rates being spent on the upgrade of Springvale Boulevard, the town centre has been plunged into third world standards. The agnostic attitude from those who need to agitate to get these conditions cleaned up is alarming. We cannot wait until stage 3 of this project when there's no money and no set date for this to commence. No longer can we tolerate inactive representation over these matters and lack of empathy from the residents of Springvale who think it's okay to accept this type of behaviour is beyond comprehension. The 2 ward councillors need to be proactive in finding a solution and should be leading the campaign. All holidays need to be cancelled until there is a solution and Springvale overall is cleaned up. Streets, lanes and underpass. This is simply a blight on our local community and municipality. Question 1, who's responsible for the cleansing of these areas?
Mr. Manifagasa-Siva, do you want to respond to this?
Yeah. Through you, Mayor, maintenance and cleaning of the Springvale Road underpass is a council responsibility. Our in-house crew litter picks up underpass on a daily basis, with pressure washing the dumped rubbish and removal occurring on a reactive as need basis. These activities are further supplemented with the contracted services including graffiti removal and footpath scrubbing twice yearly. It is acknowledged that the underpass has not been presenting to its usual standard over the past few weeks. 2 homeless individuals set up camp in the underpass due to the unseasonably wet weather conditions, bringing with them a number of shopping trolleys filled with clothing, bedding, food, cardboard and other items of rubbish. Council staff have been unable to clean up the area as the individuals become hostile and aggressive when approached. We have been working with the Launch Housing and Big Pole to support these individuals who have now moved on from the underpass. Council cleansing staff attend the Springvale Underpass early Saturday morning to remove the rubbish and clean up the sites. Thank you for your question.
Thank you. Next question, Ms. Redall.
Thank you. Our next question from Gay Guest concerns community consultation and planning concerns in Greater Dandenong. I've sat in on 4 planning panels about real long-term local issues and realised that these opportunities are in actual fact shams, as behind closed doors in ivory towers, our city's future has been mapped out by so-called experts who have no idea about the overall impact their designs will have on future generations. The latest Engage Victoria webinar was a perfect example, and because the first link didn't work, our community was the last to be informed within 1 day's notice of F2F consultation. 2 sessions were offered and 1 person turned up and had 8 staff to herself. What stood out when other community consultations on the same topic had up to 60 attendees in other council areas is the lack of interest by our residents in what our future holds and how our MPs, councillors and council use this to their advantage to push through inferior decisions and give us infrastructure that new residents have left behind in their home countries. Council and councillors have not yet been involved in this process, so I am here to tell you that buildings like 51A Douglas Street have no place in our communal living, and the 2 councillors can stop telling us that we had a gift from the state government for infrastructure when we've clearly been set up and groomed for a grim future. Question is, will City Greater Dandenong follow Kingston and start standing up for their suburbs designated to be destroyed by Engage Victoria's ill-thought-out proposal? Should we be one of the target zones? Can I ask Mr Manavasagasavan to respond, please?
Through you, Mayor. Thank you for your comments, Gay. We assume you're referring to the recent consultation run by the state government for their activity centres. Before the consultation commencing, council officers advised state government of the barriers faced by our community and the need to allow sufficient time to space for the people to participate, including the importance of communicating with the larger proportion of our people who do not have English as their first or main language. Feedback on the design promotions of these consultation sessions should be directed to the Department of Transport and Planning. We will pass on your comments, but encourage you also to reach out to them directly. With regard to the activity centre plans that will result from this, council officers have been and continue to engage with the state government to outline the specific opportunities and challenges in the Greater Dandenong activity centres and to advocate for the best possible outcomes for our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms Beryl. Next question.
Thank you, Mayor. And our last question from Gay Guess talks about concerns about consultation process and design decisions for Dandenong Community Hub. Nowhere should anyone be considering the hub design until Dandenong Market Master Plan is known. These 2 will cohabitate in the same precinct. So let's make informed decisions moving forward instead of in isolation. We presently have 22 civic spaces in City Greater Dandenong, and we need an audit to assess their usage as well. Nowhere in the focus group did we tick off on underground parking, and we favoured a single-storey facility. 1. Safety. 2, if the lift breaks down, difficulty walking for those with mobility issues and prams. The 2-storey option was dismissed as children's services would have been on the first floor, and again, if the lift failed, how would people get upstairs, downstairs with prams, and children needed to be walked out to outside play areas with extra staff through public areas. Again, concerns around safety, staff, cost and practicality. Question 3, are focus user groups really listened to and their concerns taken on board, or is consultation completely ignored? Can I ask Mr Manavasagasavam to respond, please?
Yeah, through me, the co-design group has provided valuable input across 16 categories that has helped share the building design. This information has been captured since 2021 and has been summarised in the Dandenong Community Hub co-design outcomes document. This information will continue to be used to help shape the hub design. We undertook detailed and good faith co-design process, and we continue to value the feedback provided and sentiment expressed. Nevertheless, Council continues to be the decision maker over the major projects. It is responsible for Council to check in and potentially recalibrate major projects to make sure they will represent a good use of community resources and are in the interest of the entire community. We assure community that our consultations are undertaken in good faith that it doesn't mean every stakeholder will always be happy with all the decision making from Council. Sometimes the need to be balanced competing priorities means not all wishes can be accommodated. The Council will consider this matter at this evening.
Thank you. Next question, Ms Beryl.
Thank you, Mayor. And our next question is from Maria Sampi of Keysborough, and it concerns the impact of reduced council meeting frequency on resident engagement and council allowances. Question 1, residents could ask 3 questions twice per month, and now with 1 monthly meeting, can residents ask 6 questions per month at the council meetings? Can I ask Ms Hajari, our Executive Director, Strategy and Corporate Services, to respond, please?
To you, Mayor, and thank you, Maria, for your question and raising the concern. I would like to clarify that the decision to move to 1 council meeting per month is because we have less business, particularly due to planning reforms. It's more responsible use of resources to only convene the number of the meetings that are required. We understand that opportunities for committee questions are important for transparency and engagement. Under council governance rules, the number of the question per meeting remains the same, even with the proposed changes to monthly meeting. However, residents can contribute to ask questions at every scheduled council meeting, and we encourage using other available channels that we have, such as emailing council directly or using the SnapSend Solve app, or direct contact with your councillors for timely responses between the meetings.
Thank you, Ms Hajari. Maria Samby's second question is, as councils have reduced attending council meetings by 50%, will they also take steps to reduce their councillor allowance by 50%, as it does not seem fair to the ratepayers who have to wait a whole month to ask a question at a council meeting by having meetings once a month? Can I ask Ms Hajari to respond, please?
To you, Mayor, and thanks for this question. We really appreciate the committee interest in fairness and accountability. Councillor allowances are set by Victorian Government under Local Government Act 2020 and are not linked to the number of the meetings held. Councillors undertake a wide range of tasks in their roles as councillors, and attending council meeting is only one of their duty. Councillors will still be attending meetings around 4 Mondays each month, but one of these will be a formal council meeting, and the others, they will have also to be receiving professional development training, attending strategic briefings, and have regular briefings on the matter due to come for decision. The proposed change reflects a reduced volume of business to be addressed in formal council meeting and aims to improve efficiency and strategic focus while maintaining all legislative obligations and community engagement opportunities. Council will continue to dedicate significant time to briefings, professional development, and community representation outside these formal meetings. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Last question.
Thank you, Mayor. This is our last question this evening from Maria Sampi of Keysborough. Cost transparency for multiple focus group meetings and consultant involvement naming the new Oasis pool. I attended a focus group meeting for the naming of the new Oasis pool. There were 3 consultants there as well. Now, I found out there will be 5 focus group meetings with the 3 consultants attending as well, and what will be the cost of holding 5 focus group meetings with the 3 consultants also attending, just to pick a name for the new Oasis? Are they being paid per hour or what? Can I ask Ms Hajari to respond? Thank you.
Through you, Mayor, thank you for your question. Just for clarification, consultants have been engaged to support the development of a name and a brand as part of opening of the new Wellbeing Centre. As part of this, they led a consultation with officers and another consultation with members of the community. Based on this, officers have used the discussion guide they created to continue on and conduct further engagements with with other community groups. For instance, our engagement with young people at their Amplify meeting was led by council youth workers who have experience and expertise in working with young people. Therefore, the consultants are not attending all focus groups, but all inputs from the groups are being pulled to create a comprehensive picture for naming the new facilities. Also need to clarify, the consultants have been engaged on a fee for a set of the deliverables and not on an hourly basis or per focus group basis. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. And do we have the question on notice from last council meeting?
Yes, that's correct, Mayor. Here they are.
Thank you so much. Okay, so now we're going to move to next item, item 4, Officers' Reports, Part 2. Just for next item, I need to remove myself from the chamber as I have a conflict of interest. It is material conflicts as I work for the Commonwealth Bank of Australia, who is recommended to be awarded the contract. So I therefore request our Deputy Mayor, Councillor Philip Down, to take the chair for this item. Thank you.
Deputy Mayor, I have a question. As we are only at quorum tonight and that now the Mayor has left the chamber, I do not believe we have a quorum to respond to this item.
Governance. Yep. Councillor Garrard, we have 6 councillors present in the chamber, so quorum will has been met. Item 4.1.1, 2526-09, Banking and Customer Payment Services Contract. Do I have a mover for the motion?
Moved, Councillor O'Reilly.
Moved by Councillor O'Reilly.
Happy to second it, Deputy Mayor.
Seconded by Councillor Milkovich. Are there any questions? Councillor Garrard.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I have 3 questions in total. My first question is, last year, our actual banking cost was $370,000. And even this year, the estimate is only $410,000. Why is the council being asked to accept a contract based on a tendered amount of $531,000? And what specific transaction assumptions or bank fee charges justify the 40% increase, and why are these figures not itemised for councillors?
CEO.
I might, in the first instance, ask Ms Gerry to respond, and then I'm happy to provide some additional advice.
Thank you. Through you, Deputy Mayor. The tendered amounts are conservative estimates prepared by our banking specialist to ensure a like-for-like comparison across all submissions. The estimates are based on projected transaction volumes and fee structures, which can vary depending on usage patterns. The tendered figure includes allowances for potential increases in high volume areas such as credit card transactions, which have grown significantly over the last 5 years. On the other hand, Australia Post transactions and costs are declining. These estimates have been benchmarked, and we do not expect the actual cost to reach the tendered amount, and any variance is not expected to be materially impact to Council's budget.
Councillor Garrard.
Thank you. Thank you for that response. My next question is 15% of this evaluation was based on innovation. Can we be told what the innovation was or is specifically? Is this 15% justification for your decision?
Ms Geary.
Thank you. Through you, Deputy Mayor. Thank you for the question, Councillor Garrard. Innovation was allocated 15% because it is critical to ensuring Council remains future ready and provides ratepayers with the most efficient, secure and convenient payment options. This weighting reflects the long-term strategic value of innovation in enhancing customer experience, reducing operational risk and supporting digital transformation. The innovation measure considered enhancements to the banking relationship, marketplace changes and new products and services. For example, proactive channel migration is essential over the next few years as cheques are phased out. Council requires a banking partner that can actively support this transition. Thank you.
Thank you. My final question is the state purchase contract limits us to use only 3 of the big banks, and the big banks appear to be inflating banking costs. What analysis has been done to justify not running a full open tender where ethical and community banks can compete and provide potentially lower cost items?
Ms Geary.
Through you, Deputy Mayor. The state purchase contract is designed to make sure banking services are sourced through a thorough and fair process. Community and ethical banks don't offer the full range of services that Council needs. Many also rely on third-party providers for some functions, which can add extra costs and complexity. The major banks have a breadth of capability to handle Council's needs at scale. The increase in the banking costs is mainly due to a rise in transaction volumes and service requirements.
Thank you very much, Ms. Geary. Were there any other questions? Is there any opposition? As there is no opposition, this item is carried. I request that we call the Mayor, Councillor Sophie Tan, back to the chamber.
Thank you. So now we're going to go to next item, item 4.2, Policy and Strategy 4.2.1, Policy Review, Councillors' Contact with Developers, Submitters and Lobbyists. Is there a mover to this item, please?
Councillor O'Reilly.
Moved by Councillor O'Reilly. Is there a seconder? Seconded
Yim.
by Councillor Yim. Are there any questions? Yes, Councillor Garrett.
Thank you, Mayor. My question is that this policy relies entirely on voluntary disclosure, provides no audit or verification, excludes social interaction, and gives no clear timeline for reporting or for public access. How can Council claim this strengthens transparency when there's no mechanism to ensure all developer contact is actually declared and visible to the community?
Thank you. Could I ask Mr. Manifagasa Sabam to respond? Thank you.
Through
Or
you,
Mrs.
Madam
Stewart.
Mayor. In regards to the policy, it is voluntary. In a notice of motion 2021 was brought to council. I think there's only one other council that has it, and that's City of Melbourne. So the fact that we've got one is a great standard to have. It's actually placing us above a standard benchmark. In regards to when it's reviewed in 4 years' time, and you are correct. There's a requirement for it to actually be produced in regards to the appendix that's there to do with the filling in the form and provide it to the governance team. And then the governance team are the ones that would review how that's made available. Because you'll also note that there's the Privacy Act that's been added to it. So when a disclosure comes through from a councillor, there has to be a review process as part of that to see actually who's been involved and what sort of information can be provided to the public.
Thank you. Are there any further questions? No. Could I just also note, could we please add the Deputy Mayor on the definition on the report as well for this? Thank you. Is there any opposition? As there's no opposition, the item is carried. Yes, Councillor O'Reilly.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, as has just been said, this council has been quite forward-thinking and leading in terms of transparency in this regard. I think from memory it was myself and Councillor Garrard that were the initial proponents of the initial policy, supported by all councillors, I believe, and I think it's interesting how it has worked, given that my understanding is we haven't had any reports, but how that may have worked is that developers who may have intended to contact councillors to lobby for particular applications have then thought twice, thinking that they don't want themselves to end up on a public register, which I think overall is not a bad result. Anyway, Mayor, so the reason why we have it, or I support it being voluntary, is that it becomes problematic for councillors and potentially developers if they're emailing councillors and not being aware of the policy, and then councillors are mandated to make that public. So there's a whole raft of issues that could be arise there. So I think, as has been mentioned previously, we're doing well in this regard. We are leading the way along with the City of Melbourne. I thank councillors for their support of the revised policy. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Rowley. Councillor Garrett.
Thank you, Mayor. Whilst I acknowledge that we are ahead of the pack, the pack a very long way behind. And whilst yourself and I did put that up, it was a compromise to have that as voluntary. I certainly wanted it not to be voluntary. And we set it up in light of the Casey corruption scandal, so it was very pertinent for us at the time. But I don't think we should rest on our laurels. There's still many flaws in that, and I hope the next time it's reviewed, it's no longer voluntary. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you so much. So go to the next item. Item 4.2.2, review of council policies for abolishment. We have a few on here. So one is disaster assistance policy, footpath activity policy, international relations policy, parking concessions for war services, veterans policy, school crossing management policy, and sustainable building policies. Is there a mover to this item, please? Moved by Councillor Garrard. Is there a seconder? Seconded by Deputy Mayor Dan. Are there any questions? Yes, Deputy Mayor Dan.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Just one question to the relevant officer. Were there any further reasons that the concessions for war service veterans are proposed to be abolished as well?
Mr. Manif.
Yeah, through Mayor. In summary, the original intent of the war veterans parking policy has been overtaken by the changes in the veteran card system and the universal coverage provided by the disability permit scheme. The comprehensive overlap between the veteran card eligibility and the disability permit scheme, as well as the evolution of the veteran card system towards recognition rather than the practical entitlements, it is recommended that we abolish this policy. And also, if I look at the last 10 years, we haven't seen one veteran card in this process, but we're always happy to sort of support if anyone need any supports.
Thank you. Any further questions? No? Is there any opposition? As there's no opposition, the item is carried. Yes, Councillor Rowley.
Thank you, Mayor. Just like to note that as of today, Council has no international relations policy, which I can think is a good thing, Mayor, given the reports we've heard recently vis-a-vis the City of Frankston and Melbourne, and I think Harold's son today about sister cities. Look, I think this council did have a reasonably productive relationship with a sister city in China in the past, but I think council made a decision that in light of the actual stated or provable benefits of that relationship to residents, as well as the optics of it in combination, I think this council's decided not to proceed or to terminate our international relations policy. That, I mean, does not completely close it off forever. If there are particular events or particular relationships that can provide a provable benefit, then we could consider them at that point. But I would just like to note that it is quite topical given the recent media and focus on other councils. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Rowley. Move to next item, item 4.3, Finance and Budget, 4.3.1, 2025 to 26 mid-year budget. Moved by Councillor Garrard. Is there a seconder? Seconded by Deputy Mayor Dan. Are there any questions? Yes, Councillor Garrard.
Thank you, Mayor. This budget includes significant increases, 250,000 for communications and staffing, 150,000 increased cost for legal costs, 443,000 increase for digital and cyber security, totalling almost $1 million. Are these uncontrolled costs? If so, what cost containment measures are being applied, and given the scale of these adjustments, should these changes have been publicly advertised for transparency?
Could I ask Ms Jerry to respond?
Thank you. Through you, Mayor. Of those costs that you've outlined, Councillor Garrard, not all are ongoing impacts for Council's long-term financial plan. The main ongoing adjustments are the digital technology of $301,000 and the part of the strategic communications area of $175,000. So these will be factored into our long-term financial planning forecasts. These amounts, the remaining amounts are considered one-off, and these amounts they're probably not considered significant enough for us to advertise or engage the community on. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions? Is there any opposition? As there's no opposition, the item is carried. Yes, Councillor Garrard.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wish to note in this budget there's $300,000 allocated for the Dandenong Market upgrade, with a further $900,000 expected next year. I think this is a very wise investment. The market is a major economic driver and a key community asset. Investing in it's practical and necessary, and supporting the traders and families who rely on it every week. It's a commitment to ensuring this enduring city icon remains fit for purpose and continues to be a flagship centre for our community. So I commend the councillors for passing that motion.
Thank you, Councillor Garrard. Move to next item, item 4.4, other, 4.4.1, Disability Advisory Committee Terms of Reference. Is there a mover, please? Moved by Councillor Yim. Is there a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Garrard. Are there any questions? Is there any opposition? As there's no opposition, the item is carried. Item 4.4.2, draft minutes of advisory committee meeting. So we've got draft minutes for positive ageing advisory, disability advisory, and also for the cultural heritage advisory committee. Is there a mover, please?
Councillor Yim.
Moved by Councillor Yim. Is there a seconder?
Happy to second.
Seconded by Phil Dan, the Deputy Mayor. Are there any questions? Is there any opposition? As there's no opposition, the item is carried. Okay, item 4.4.3, Dandenong Community Hub Concept Design.
I'd like to move an amendment, Deputy Mayor, please.
Yes, Councillor Mikulj, what is your amendment?
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. The amendment includes 3 points that are already in officers' recommendation, however, adds point number 4, which directs the officers to explore options for public-private partnership opportunities, including any air rights above this project area in the future.
Thank you. Seconder?
Councillor O'Reilly.
Yeah, Councillor O'Reilly, seconder. Are there any questions? Is there any opposition? Yes, Councillor Garrard. The opposition? We're going to go to the mover first for the amendment.
The mover first in the firing line. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Look, it's pretty clear what this point number 4 does try to achieve is that due to the economic stresses and council...
Point of order, Mayor. Are we just discussing the amendment at this time or the substantive? Because the amendment is inclusive of the substantive. Just clarification, please.
Just including the amendment as well. So original plus the amendment, the motion you passed. Yes, the whole motion, which is including your amendment.
The whole motion?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Well, what this item does provide, and also the amendment in this case, is it really just gives the officers a directive and the opportunity and options to provide the council with the view or any options that might be explored in the future to include the private-public partnerships in regards to developing Dandenong Community Hub. Now, this Dandenong Community Hub has been not a contentious issue, but it's been an issue that's been debated by the councillors and the public for quite some time. It was started off as a empty political promise by certain councillors in the past, which obviously they realised they couldn't be delivered in such a short amount of time that's needed due to the other commitments of the council in the bigger projects, one of which is the Dandenong Wellbeing Centre, or soon to be named Dandenong Oasis or whatever. Now, what this does really just explores the option to give the councillors a chance to look at and officers a direction to explore any opportunities where we could co-fund this with the private partnership, including any air rights. Now, why this is important is because the land where this is being proposed to be built is per square metre the most valuable land in the city of Greater Dandenong. Far more valuable to the tune of about 4 times than land in Keysborough where Keysborough Community Hub or previously known Keysborough South Community Hub was built. And it only makes economic sense that we look at options where we could utilise that particular partnership to deliver a first-class, multi-level or single-level community hub that will serve the community for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years, but not at the expense of the whole municipality, but actually does involve private-public partnership where we could possibly look at selling the air rights above. It's only a direction of an option, an exploration of the project, not set in concrete. Thank you.
Thank you. As a seconder, Councillor Raleigh.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, following on from Councillor Milkovich, I mean, as has been mentioned earlier in the meeting, I mean, this motion is saying that council will be absolutely realistic as far as setting expectations to proponents of this hub. And if you ask me, Mayor, that's where we should have been much more open and honest about what this council could feasibly deliver in terms of budget, the budget environment, demands across the whole municipality. And this motion is saying firmly that the scope of it would not meet what was aimed for or aspired to by the co-design group and process. And I think it is much better that this council is realistic in scope and aims to deliver it possibly with a private public partnership. But a lot of these projects just come down to where's the money going to come from, and with the scope that we had up till now, there was despite we could have, you know, an abundance of insistence, but that doesn't fund things, Mayor. So I think this motion is putting the council back on track to something that could be feasibly delivered. So therefore, perfect not being the enemy of the good, and the sooner we're on track to delivering something on the ground realistically, I think the better. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Raleigh. In opposition, Councillor Garrard.
Just clarifying there, 4 minutes.
Yes.
Thank you. I think in order to debate this, we need to really understand what we are debating. And I know before someone outlined the vagaries of this item, and I agree it's extremely vague. So I think we need to be really clear on what we're actually debating. What we're actually talking about is the complete cutting and gutting of this design. This is a go back to the table and start again. And this is the third time. This is the third time the council has done this on this project. So let's be really clear. It's not just a little bit of massaging. It's not just a little bit of, changing things around. It's a complete redesign, which is written in the motion, a complete redesign. We have spent the last 4 years asking our community to give up their time, give up their energy, give up their commitment to this project and to co-design. They have come for hours and hours and hours of workshop. They have worked diligently. They have collaborated. They have compromised. They have worked with architects. They have given up hours of their time. They have invested hours of their valuable time to this project. But now we're just saying, no, we'll just tear that up. We'll just tear that up and we'll just start again. And because we know what you want, not the community that's actually paying for it. We know, we the officers know better. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically whack something like the Keysborough South Hub, which is co-designed by the community there. So they got to co-design their hub, or half a population. We have twice the population and growing. but we're going to cut it in half. We also know, we have heard that children's services, the demand for children's services is growing, and that we actually have a building which is past its useful, its use by date, and we will need to be replacing that. So we'll be looking for a new facility to which we can use, which is this. And we won't be needing half a child services centre. We will be needing the exact size this current design is. We have spent almost $750,000 on this design and years of effort. Years of effort. And now we just turn to the community who has fought since 2014, fought hard for this. We're just saying to them, no, sorry about that. We're just tearing it up because we know better. And we've estimated that a cost of an underground car park, which the community never wanted. No one wanted the underground car park, and yet that's added to a list to make it look worse, to make the costing look worse. We also saw in the local paper today that in Cranbourne, a similar centre was nowhere near costed $80 million, but was costed at around $40 million. And so we are seeing the complete gutting of this project for the third time, and we are telling the community, we do not care what you want, we'll give you what
Councillor
we
Garrard,
want.
you've got 40 seconds.
And there will be no co-design, because what you are saying is you're taking the feedback. Feedback is not co-design. Feedback is not the same as working side by side, which the community has done for 4 years. It is the council saying, to hell with the community, we're going to sit here and we're going to come up with something that suits us. Now, the justification is cost, but we have nothing on the table. We have nothing on the table at this stage.
It's time
And
now,
so,
sorry.
this is just flying in the face and telling the community, you don't care, we'll do what we want, and that's exactly what we should not be doing.
Okay.
Mayor, can I have an extension?
Do you have a mover or seconder?
Yeah, she can second that.
All right, go ahead.
So we have been told it's too big. What does that mean? We are building this for the size of the community. We have the highest humanitarian intake in this community. We have the highest need residents. We have no meeting spaces in my ward. Zero, zip. There are no cultural meeting spaces in our ward. We have one hall, which is a hall, and is not a hub of any kind. We have no, unlike Keysborough South, unlike Springvale, unlike Noble Park, unlike all the other areas, this area, which is the oldest and the biggest, we have, and with the highest need, we have zero community facilities. And yet you are telling us we can't even have a design. We're not asking you for money tonight. We're just saying leave our design alone. Stop telling us what we should have. The community knows.
Quiet.
This is based on need, and it should be left alone, and the council must stop trying to gut this project. It is the third time and it's unacceptable.
Thank you. Okay, so any speakers for fors and against? No, I'm gonna put into vote. No, there's no right of reply because it's the amended.
Get to refute.
Oh, okay, so right of reply. Sorry.
Thank you. Confusion all around there. Now, I do appreciate Councillor Garrard's passion for this particular project. However, the question at hand here is, do we keep promising our community something that can't be delivered financially, like the previous councillors have done? And over the years, this has stretched on for years and years and years. There's been opposition, there's been questions asked. However, certain councillors, in light of the elections, looming elections, have promised whatever they could just to get the votes in. That's the fact. So the question now presents itself. Do we explore different options where we can deliver anything at all, or do we keep pretending like we were going to deliver it and then keep delaying year after year after year when we know that there's just no money for this particular project? It's not about not delivering, it's about delivering efficiently and on budget and on time. Dandenong residents have not been betrayed regardless of the signage in the gallery. Dandenong residents have been betrayed by certain councillors who've given empty promises during election time, which they fully well were aware will not be able to be funded for any time soon. So this is the key issue here. This is the key question. Can we actually financially, sustainably fund this and deliver or not? Thank you.
Thank you. Right, now we're going to go put for a vote. So for those who in favour of this motion, please raise your hand. Councillor O'Reilly, Councillor Yim, Deputy Mayor Dan, Mayor Sophie Tan, and Councillor Leh, Councillor Milkovich. Those against, raise your hand. Councillor Garrett. So we've got 6 to 1.
Yeah, against it, yeah.
Yeah, so item pass. Okay, so we're going to go to next item. Item 4.4.4, Dog Off Leash Strategy 5 Years Review. Is there a mover to this item, please? Moved by Deputy Mayor Dan. Is there a seconder? Councillor Garrett, seconded. Are there any questions? Is there any opposition? As there's no opposition, the item is carried. Item 4.4.5, appointment of councillors to Taylors Road Landsfield Committee. Is there a mover? Moved by Councillor Garrett. Seconder?
Happy to second that.
Seconded by Deputy Mayor Dan. Are there any questions? Is there any opposition? As there's no opposition, the item is carried. Councillor Garrett?
Thank you, Mayor. I just wish to thank my fellow councillors for supporting that item. It's very important. We have a councillor appointed to that committee. As a council, we have been in strong opposition to the Taylors Road toxic waste dump, and we will continue to oppose that. We are tired of the continual breaches by the current operators, and we need many sets of eyes on this operation, and I feel very privileged to be put on that committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Garrett. Item 4.4.6, reappointment of Director Dandenong Market Pty Ltd. Is there a mover, please? Moved by Councillor Garrett. Is there a seconder? Seconded by Deputy Mayor Dan. Are there any questions? Is there any opposition? As there's no opposition, the item is carried. Councillor Garrett.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wish to congratulate Mr. Golda, who is, I believe, it may be his third term. I don't have that in front of me. A total of 8 years for his 8-year contribution, which has been invaluable, and we thank him for his past service and his commitment to another 3 years.
Thank you. Item 4.4.7, list of registered correspondence to Mayor and Councillors. Is there a mover, please?
Happy to move it, Mayor.
Moved by Councillor Milkovich. Is there a seconder?
Councillor Yim.
Councillor Yim, seconded. Are there any questions? Is there any opposition? As there's no opposition, the item is carried. Item 4.4.8, report on matters discussed at councillor briefing sessions and pre-council meetings. Moved by Councillor Garrett. Is there a seconder?
Happy to second that.
Seconded by Deputy Mayor Dan. Are there any questions? Is there any opposition? As there's no opposition, the item is carried. Okay. Item 5, notice of motions. We don't have any notice of motions today. Item 6, reports from councillors, delegate members and councillor questions. I start with Councillor Garrett, please.
Thank you, Mayor. My first question is regarding our policy on fireworks. Over the weekend, I was inundated by emails and distressed phone calls from residents in Keysborough South. There was a fireworks display in what is a farming area, essentially, and many were not notified at all that this was going to take place. Many had very expensive horses and livestock who were potentially going to be damaged by having this fireworks display. My question is, why was no permit required for this? And why does our policy, which I notice has not been updated since 2021, why does that say that all fireworks have to apply for and have a permit. However, this one apparently didn't need one and caused enormous distress and potentially large financial harm and also harm to animals. I'm very curious as to why no permit was required.
Thank you, Mr. Manifagasa Sivam.
Yeah, through you, Mayor. Thank you for that question. Yes, our policy is outdated, so we are in the process of updating our policy, so we'll have those discussions early next year. In relation to this land, our policies talks about permits required in public land, and also this fireworks was established in a private land, which means they don't require any permits. However, we are aware of it's happening, and we worked with the organizers and asked them to do the notifications, which they have done the notification for the surrounding areas. And also, unfortunately, on the same night, Kingston Council had their Christmas Carols event, which also featured fireworks. Both events happened within the 5 kilometers radius, and that's caused more distress to the residents. However, we are happy to sort of work with the organizers to see what else can happen in the next year.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a follow-up question. So if I let off fireworks in my private land, that's just fine. Is that right? Because I was strongly of the opinion that you needed a permit for any sort of fireworks. So I'm fine if I just let off fireworks in my private land. Is that right?
No, you're right. So any fireworks is illegal to do that one, you're right. And at this time, this is organizers, they don't need a specific permit from us, but they have to adhere to our event permits and all of those things. So the safety measure is there, but in relation to the fireworks permits, our policy only covers the public land, not the private lands.
So is that a yes? I can just let off fireworks in my yard. Is that right? Can you just say a yes to that?
No, you can't do that one on your own. No.
So how did they not? Because I understand they approached you to get a permit. Right?
Yeah.
And you said no, mate, you don't need a permit.
No, because it's not on a public land. They are organised that in a private land, so that's why it's not required.
So if I've got private land, I don't need a permit. I'm very confused by what you're saying.
No, you don't need a permit from us. No, but you have to adhere to the other policies. State government got on strict policy on who can do the fireworks and all of those safety measures. You need to sort of look at that. From our council point of view, our permits only covers the council events and also the public land.
Okay, I'm very surprised. That's very surprising to me. The other thing was the CFA were not notified, and that is a high fire risk area. When they approached you, did you indicate to them it would be wise, at least, to let the CFA know that this was happening?
Yes, we have notified them to sort of let all of the residents know, and also the CFA knows. It's up to the, so we have closely worked with them on that. Yeah.
So I understand the CFA were not notified.
I'm not aware of that, no.
Yeah, so the CFA were not notified. But if they don't need a permit, they don't have to do anything actually, do they? Like, if I let fireworks off in my backyard, I don't actually have to comply with anything, do I? Because I'm not signing up for a permit process. I'm not signing up for anything. So I can just do what I like. Is that right?
No, I think there are other so you're only looking at council legislation. There are other state legislations covers and the safety of using fireworks. So that needs to be adhered to. I'm only purely talking about from a council policy point of view, which is outdated. We need to update that one, which is purely talks about public land and council events. So that's what we can do at this stage.
Through you, Mayor, can I just add, it's an activity, Councillor Garrard, that is regulated by WorkSafe, which is a state government authority, not the City of Greater Dandenong. And so they need to use pyrotechnic experts and have safety oversight by WorkSafe, not by the City of Greater Dandenong.
I'm very confused. So now you're saying that if I were doing that in my backyard, I need to get a pyrotechnic expert and I need to apply to the state. Is that what you're saying? So we completely bypass this very confusing.
You don't apply to something, you just do it. The guy just
So I just do it. I don't have to apply to anyone. But I have to have a pyrotechnic expert. Can someone explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old? I just don't get.
There is no confusion. I don't know why you make. So this is what our policy says is we only cover public land and also council events. So if it is not in public land, it's in a private land, which is covered under the state government legislation. So, and also, yes, individual property owners can't do that one. That's an illegal fireworks. But if you are organizing a major event, like what's happened on that weekend, it's a major event. They have organized professionals to come and do. That's controlled by the WorkSafe and state government. There are processes needs to go. This is not you go and buying up fireworks. It's an illegal. So I'm just saying that.
Look, I'm sorry. My brain is not working.
Any other question, Councillor Garrett?
I do, but I'm still very confused. Anyway, moving right along.
Through you, Mayor, if Councillor Garrard would like a report on fireworks and regards to it, officers are happy to do that. But we're taking this on notice at this point in time. Mr Manavasagasavan is seeking to answer the question. If you'd like extra information, I'm happy to prepare a report briefing councillors around fireworks.
Thank you, Ms Verrill.
Look, the reason I'm confused is because of our policy. Our policy says you need a permit for any fireworks. So, I'm not looking for a response. I'm just saying this is why I'm confused. I think this is why the public's confused. You need a permit to blow your nose in this town, and I'm very surprised. Anyway, I'm going to move on. I'm letting go. I'm moving on. I'm breathing. Very surprised. My question is around the tennis table centre. I've had some very worried residents who manage the tennis table centre, which is a very big centre and is very, utilised by many people. Is there anything in writing about the future of the tennis table centre? Have we put it in writing? Have we given them any certainty? Have we been liaising with them? Because I've recently met with them. They don't know anything. They haven't spoken to anyone. They don't know how it's going to work. Are they going to be able to expand in that space? They don't know what's happening to that building. So can we just know what the plans are for that centre? And if we do have those plans, can we please liaise with those groups?
Mr Manavasagasavan.
Through you, Mayor. So there is, as part of the awarding of the Dandenong Wellbeing Centre, council resolution is to keep the table tennis on that site, on that building. So it's pretty clear definition. That building is staying, and where they are playing, it's going to stay. It's not going to change. So there's no confusion around that. And currently, we are working with the club, and Mr. Foster's team is currently working with them to work out the logistics of that. First, we need to build the Dandenong Wellbeing Centre, then only we'll come to the demolition of the current OSCs. And at that time, yes, we will work with them. Still 18 months away, and it's in early stages, but clear direction is that's going to stay on site. But yeah, Mr. Foster's team would work with them on that.
Thank you, because that's more information than I believe they have. And they have no certainty of the duration of time that building will remain there. They also don't have any clarity about whether they can expand, whether there'll be anyone else using that building. They're just flying in the dark. So if it's possible, could I be updated on any decisions made, and then I can know when I'm talking to them what has been said. It may be that you've spoken to different people that I've spoken to. There may be just a miscommunication. But it would be great to have some clarity because going forward, they want to invest in that site and they want to make sure they have certainty of tenure going forward. So I would really appreciate a detailed update. Thank you.
Through you, Councillor Garrard, thank you for asking that question. you can be assured the council has been liaising with that group continually around security around the table tennis facilities. It's unfortunate Ms Gillies is not here this evening due to a family commitment, but I'm happy to provide a briefing note to all councillors articulating how much extensive work has been done by our recreation team, and I'm sure that officers would be happy to go out and reassure the group again if they're unclear about it.
Thank you. I am aware the council has engaged with them. What I'm told is that no decisions or certainty has been made. So that's what I'm looking for. So thank you, Ms Weatherall. I will look forward to that update.
Thank you. Councillor Mirkovich.
Oh, thank you. Caught me by surprise. I thought there was going to be more questions. No questions from me tonight, Mayor. Would just like to use this opportunity, since it's the last council meeting of the year, to wish all my fellow councillors, colleagues, all the council staff and all our residents a very Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Lay.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Bob, for Merry Christmas for everyone. Okay, I have two events to go to last 2 weeks. Carol in Harmony Square, I just go live and just see you, only you as well. But actually, I enjoy it, and I see that is really good for the decorate for Christmas for our council. And the other one in fundraising in UCH. That is the organization. It's just 2 years, but they do a really good job. In one night, they raise for $40,000. It's so surprising for me. And then the other one is for whole year, I know is all our team and all councillor staff to do everything is so hard work. But recently in Springvale, particularly in Springvale Central, underneath, a tunnel roads under Simba Road and Lightwood Road, right in Springvale Central, there is really a messy there. So my resident called me and they text message to me, and a lot of people, even some residents there, they text message to me, they give me for me the picture, very messy underneath. And then I tell them, okay, let me see. And then the other day, the next day after, they give me the response from the council. They get really upset. So they say this one belongs to the withdrawal. So my residents say, this one I believe in belongs to council staff, how to do it. And I say, okay. Now I make the question, that's one it belongs responsible into us or belong into withdrawal for clean it up? That's messy.
What's the location, Councillor Lay?
Yeah, that is question one. And question two. Okay, you can answer first.
Yeah, but what's the location? Can you tell the officer what location?
Sorry?
Location? Where is it?
Where?
Springvale. Springvale Station. Okay, Mr. Minifika Sasivam, do you want to respond?
Yes. I assume that you are mentioning about the underpass, the public question was. So as I mentioned, it's council responsibility to clean that one. But over the last few weeks, we were unable to do that one because of 2 homeless persons moved in, and also they were really hostile to our staff. But we worked with the Launch Housing and also Wigpol to move them out last week, and Saturday we went in and then cleaned that one. This is the challenge we got with our staff, and also homelessness and the threat to our staff, so we need to manage that one. So we do acknowledge that it was messy over the couple of weeks, mainly because of that incident.
Thank you. Any further question, Councillor Lay?
Thank you. I have a few questions for the centre as well. Because this season is really high end of this season in Springvale Central. Lots of people go there, even every shopping center, they close on Christmas Day or Boxing Day, but Springvale shopping around, they never close. So we request for our staff do double shift there. Can our council can do it or no?
So currently we do clean every day, and also we do bin pickup twice a day, and especially on weekends and also the busy period, we do additional pickups. So we do a lot of works, and we have a permanent staff there looking after the cleaning. So yes, we can increase that one. That comes cost to the council, around additional cost. But at the same time, one of the things we require is we need support from the traders and also the community as well, because the challenges we have with our bins are traders uses our public bin as their waste collection. That needs to be stopped. We are closely working with the traders, and if that helps, then definitely it can be improved as well. So we're happy to work with them. We do have additional cleaning services happens over the weekends and also the holiday period. We're happy to monitor and see how we can do that one, but definitely we require support from the traders and the community as well.
Thank you. Next question. Any further question?
I have another question. Is, you know, in Springvale Central, especially in multicultural place there, at this season, do we have any solution or support for any homeless in the Springvale area for some time? Because when I go there, I see really messy for the homeless around there. So do we have any solution for homeless for this season?
Thank you. Mr. Foster, you want to answer?
Yeah, Council has partnerships with local housing providers that provide support and services to rough sleepers, particularly Launch Housing, that has an assertive outreach team that goes and meets rough sleepers in situ in an attempt to provide support. It does rely on the rough sleepers being willing to accept that support, which is sometimes challenging. So the best solution is, when we are aware of rough sleepers inhabiting a particular area, is that information is passed on to council officers who can ensure that Launch Housing's assertive outreach teams can go out and visit them in situ.
Thank you.
Thank you. The last question is, you know, around in Springvale Shopping Centre, they sell too many finger food or a lot of food around there. So a lot of business owner and vendor there, they pay for the tax, they pay for the shop, they pay for the rent, they pay outwin everything. So they complain me about why a lot of people sell the food without food safety. I don't know yet. So they sell around the shop, very small food around there. So do we have any solution to clean it up, or any process for them to take them go into the shop to sell properly?
Mr. Manifa Gasasiva.
Yes.
We should talk about like a lot of people selling stuff,
Yes.
like vegetables on the street. Yeah.
Yes, we are aware of that one. Our officers go and visit them and then move them on, and also we have spoke to them many times. That happens frequently, and also what we require is if that happens, I would encourage the traders to immediately ring our customer service, so we can send our staff there to move them on as well. So we do that daily patrols, but sometimes we can't be there all the time. So yeah, so happy for the traders to ring our customer service and complain, so then we can take action.
Thank you.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor, Councillor Philip Dan.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I was also present with yourself at Carol's last Friday. It's one of my favourite events on the calendar, and I just wanted to acknowledge and thank all the people that were involved in that, particularly the performers, the school choir, and of course the teachers that look after them as well. I just wanted to echo Councillor Milkovic's well wishes. I'd also like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas. I think 2025 has been a really big year. There's also a lot to celebrate as well. And you know, locally, we've seen construction of new courts in my ward at Parkfield Tennis Club. We've seen the launch of the library lockers in Central Noble Park as well. And we've also seen the launch of some great projects like the Keysborough Hub, which has brought a lot of pride to this community and of course across the organisation. There's just been so many more things to celebrate. The commencement of construction at the Dandenong Wellbeing Centre is really exciting, and we've seen our streets and suburbs and our activity centres really activated over the last 12 months. One highlight being Thomas Street at its best with the Ramadan night markets. And I am incredibly excited to see how much bigger and better they'll be next year as well. And it's not just in Dandenong, in your ward too, locally in Noble Park, we had a night market that happens on Frank Street. So there's all these things that have happened over the past year, which deserves acknowledgement. We've seen things that have been organised that have created excitement for our residents, which deserves celebration. And while there's a lot of optimism to celebrate, the task now is to continue to stay focused so that we can keep working hard for our residents. But otherwise, we will continue to work towards Christmas, but I acknowledge that we won't be back into this chamber again until next year. So I want to just once again wish everyone a very Merry Christmas, rest well and stay safe, and see you again next January. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Dan. Councillor Yim.
Thank you, Mayor. On Thursday, the 2nd of December, I attended the Youth Leadership Celebration with yourself and Councillor O'Reilly. It was great to see so many of our youth being involved in our community and taking the opportunity to complete leadership programs with the Youth and Family Services. On Thursday, the 4th of December, I attended the end of year appreciation event for the council volunteers with fellow councillors, Councillor O'Reilly and Councillor Garrard. It was a brilliant night with our beautiful and selfless volunteers who dedicated their time and efforts, and I'd like to thank them again. And on the Saturday, I attended the Dandenong Veterinary Hospital 100-year birthday celebration with yourself, Mayor. I found it to be a staple of our city of Greater Dandenong, and they've built a lovely community where they are. I'd also like to shout out Kay of Wildlife Days Wildlife Shelter, a charity organisation operating completely on volunteer work and donations. And as my other fellow councillors have said, I also hope everyone has a safe and happy holidays. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Yim. Councillor O'Reilly.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, as has already been mentioned, I attended quite a few events, but just a standout thing that came in the national news, Mayor, was that Springvale Rise Primary School was nationally recognised when the NAPLAN results came out as the 6th most improved cohort of students nationally, which really underlines that Greater Dandenong is a city of opportunity, given that it doesn't matter where you start, but it matters, how you finish and the road to getting there. I think Springvale Rise Primary School has been mentioned as punching above its weight in a big way, and I'd request that you would write them a letter of congratulations along those lines, please, Mayor.
Thank you, will do.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor O'Reilly. I myself also been very busy last 2 weeks. The 25th of November, we've done our walk against family violence. This year, we've got a lot of people turn up. I think approximately more than 1,000 people joined from walking from Dandenong Market to our Harmony Square here. So we've got, I think, approximately more than 500 people attended this ceremony. Also, just want to shout out to our guest speaker, Elvis Martin, great speaker. Really touching about his life experience, and also thanks to everyone who's involved, which is, I think, this year organised by our festival and events team, which is a great turnout. On the 27th of November, I attended the 26th, I attended this Secondary School Transition Forum 2025. So this is where all the 28 schools came together, primary and secondary school, most of it just to teach our grade 6 student how to be more confident with starting their year 7 next year. So great to see a lot of people there. 27th of November, I attended the 2025 Australian Martial Arts Festival in Springvale Town Hall, which is supported by the Victorian 2025-26 Multicultural Festivals and Events program. These events result of the hosted by the Australian Oriental Martial Arts Tai Chi Inc. So commitments to celebrating diversity, fostering community spirit, and promoting intercultural and understanding as well. On the 28th of November, I attended the Albanian Independence Day flag raising ceremony. So this time we had 2 ambassadors visiting our City of Council. First time ever we got 2 ambassadors, so one from the Republic of Albania and one from Kosovo. Around, I think, close to about 50 people came. And in the evening, I attended the UC Helpers, which is United Community Helpers, end of year events. As Councillor Lay mentioned, I think they raised around 40,000 on the night, which is great to see. And they've done a lot of 1,300 cases to help the new arrivals, especially the Vietnamese community, and not just the Vietnamese community, but people also supported them. And they're launching a new project as well called the Project Connect, which is connecting all the people, loneliness as well, to help with a lot of people around this area. On the 29th of November, I attended the Kannada Rajyotsava celebration, which is the Indian culture by Kannada Sangha Melbourne organisation. So there's a lot of people attend, which is they've got their office based in Noble Park. Around 20,000 people living in Victoria from this background. So mainly it's about diversity in culture, celebration. In that evening, I attended the Spartan Gala Night, which is hosted by the Spartan Bonero Club, which is mainly the themes about unity and diversity, so bringing people together, community members for the night of cultural performances. On the 2nd of December, I also had a privilege to open the IVE Groups, the new industrial facility, which is a huge development. This one located on the Francis Street in Dandenong South again, so huge facilities for the marketing company, advertising company. And on the same day, I also visited the Calvary Kingston Aged Care to present flowers and certificate to our centenarians there, the elderly who turned 112 this year, which is the oldest in Greater Dandenong. I think it's the history here. And the other one's 101, so congratulations to them. And on that night, I also attended the Youth Leadership Celebration. We celebrate the achievement of our young people. Successful, which I also just want to shout out thanks to our council's team as well, the Youth and Family Services. And on the 3rd of December, I attended the International Day of People with Disabilities hosted by the community, Noble Park Community Centre, which is more about inclusive celebration to recognise their contribution, achievement, diverse experience of people of all age and abilities. And I also attended the Dandenong Market end of year celebration, so and Traders Award. So they've got their Trader Award this year. So congratulate to all the winners and the finalists. Shop of the year is Sasha Sugarcane, and we've got People's Choice Award as well, winners, which is Five Rivers Fruit and Veg, Dandy Range, I think that's owned by our former mayor, Councillor Jim Amidi, Peanut Market, Dandy Donuts, and Louise Pet Suppliers. Special category go to the New Zealand food. Street Food and Nash Corner Deli and Orchid Fresh Flowers. So congratulations to them. On Thursday the 4th and the 5th, I attended the mayoral training program with our Deputy Mayor, Councillor Philip Dan, 1.5 day. And also the 5th of December, so carols in Harmony Square. Great turnout compared to last year, and I'm lucky we got good weather this year, so congratulate to our team as well for organising this, and our community is supporting as well. And that in the evening I attended the Sandbag, which is the end of year events. And on a Saturday, I attended the Dandenong Victorian Hospital, so 100 years celebration, huge celebration in our community, which is they only own about 5 owners for the hospital, and they've done a lot for our community, especially they help with wildlife. There's no cost with wildlife. If you go to hospital, they help out with everything, donation as well, so congratulate to them. Just got 2 questions tonight through the relevant officer. Just a quick one regarding to, I think, potholes. Not sure, the weather's now, get a lot of rain recently, so there's a lot of potholes along Chatham Road, which is toward Dandenong. So there's a lot. So I'm not sure when's the time to fix the potholes along that road. Question 2, you can take it on notice, it's fine. And question 2 is about next to the Dandenong Vet Hospital. That's the building used to owned by CFA and Amberlin. Now it's no one using it for over a year now. So a lot of people squatting there. So we just need to get our relevant officer to investigate and find out who's the owner is. If we can do something about this. Thank you.
Yep, happy to have a look at the building. In relation to the pothole, Cheltenham Road is managed by Vic Road, so we are happy to pass on to the Vic Roads on that. And yeah.
Thank you. Item 7, urgent business. We don't have any urgent business tonight, so we go to item 8, close of business. I declare the meeting closed at 8:40 p.m. Thank you, and have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you.